Hello everyone, today we are going to talk about the tower of someone that started the game very early when he was just out, but is not playing very often, so you see it's a very untypical tower for many aspects, so I'm sure that you will be interested to see a very different approach because of the time that this person had, and even if he's not playing a lot. If you're interested of an in-depth review like the one I'm going to do today, you can write down review into the comment, and I will pull someone random among my sub, and every week I'm doing a review. If you want to have a little bit more information, it's at the end of the video, so you can check it at the end of the video. So let's get started with the review of today. So today we are reviewing the tower of Star 7685, and as you see, it started in April 2022, so more than 3 years ago. So he already has the banner of the 3 years. Congratulations, it's been 3 years that you're playing the game. But you see that the total coin earned is 67 trillion, which is pretty low for someone that started 3 years ago and invested a bit of real money into the game. And as he was explaining, is that it started the game a long time ago, but it didn't play a lot, and then it's only recently that it started again playing consistently the game. And you will see that it has some very interesting research where time is the limiting factor for most of the player, but he's already very advanced on a lot of research, especially for the amount of coin that he has been made so far. So it has given me this this chart that is very interesting, and when I say you should pick the wave the tier you are farming on, I think this is the kind of calculus that you need to make. You need to run a tier, look at the number of waves that you make, the real time that it takes, amount of coins, sales, and then make the ratio of coin per hour and sales per hour. And I think this is very interesting because you will realize that there is a tier that is clearly above others, and you see here the number of coin per hours and sales per hours is clearly above for the tier 10. So congratulations, you are doing the right thing. This is optimizing your run, so this is the great way to do it. He is running a Blender setup. He doesn't want to move to a Devo build because he wants to have something that is very AFK idle game, and he likes to use the automatic upgrade to have his farm. So we are going to try to maximize the Blender build, even if it's not as optimal as the Devo build for farm. We can probably get something very decent with the Blender. Moving on to his ultimate weapon, so he has Smart Missile, Death Wave, Chronofield, Golden Tower, Poison Swamp, and Black Hole. So he had relatively late the combo Golden Tower and Black Hole, because Death Wave, Golden Tower, and Black Hole, they were unlocked as 4th, 5th, and 6th ultimate weapon, which should have been quite difficult at the beginning to have a strong economical setup. So I guess this is also something that can explain the low coins that you see in LTC. From what I see here, I see that he's put a little bit of coins into the Smart Missile, I think on the cooldown. He was wondering if he should keep going on building Smart Missile. So my recommendation to you is do not. Smart Missile is not an ultimate weapon that you want to build for damage early on. I think it can be viable very late when you have a lot of research and you have already other things, but I don't recommend building Smart Missile at all. I think you should not waste your stone into it. You have way better to do. What he was saying is that you want to save for Chain Lightning for your next ultimate weapon. This is, I think this is a good idea. You can potentially save for a new ultimate weapon and take Chain Lightning to move to the hybrid build. We are going to talk about this later. From what I see, you have natural synchronization between Golden Tower and Death Wave. This is good, but you're also using the Nexus. So overall, I would say that the economical weapon, they are not bad. They're not amazing, but they're not bad. So I think this is good. One of the things that I see that could be something easy for you, and you didn't mention it, is the Chronofield. If you are running tournament, Chronofield, and especially when you move to hybrid and even more to glass cannon, Chronofield become this monster where it provides so much benefit from you. And I think for Devo build, you were talking about the fact that you get swarmed by the monster when you are doing a tournament. I do recommend that you start upgrading your Chronofield to meet the cooldown of 1 minute, so you have a permanent Chronofield. It's a bit tedious, but if you manage to do so, it's completely worth it. Because after you are going to get this constant slow on the enemies, and it's going to help you tremendously. Even if it's just like 40%, you can build up this Chronofield as you are going up. I think actually this is going to help you both for farm and for tournament, making like killing two birds with one stone, because it's going to help you on both of the aspect of your tower. So my recommendation for you right now is potentially not to unlock Chain Lightning, even if I know that it's something that you want to unlock because it's like a shiny new tool, but I think you can definitely work on Chronofield. If you decide to either way unlock Chain Lightning first, I mean, this is not a bad move, but I would recommend that you work on your Chronofield first, especially that is already quite nice, and you go for the Chain Lightning after. But start with Chronofield. It's going to help you for everything. Bear in mind that Chain Lightning, if you are using it as a blender build, most of the time, if you have a strong Chain Lightning, it's killing enemies outside of your tower range. And when you have your combo with the Golden Tower and the Black Holes spawning, it's going to kill enemies outside of the Black Hole, reducing the effectiveness of the combo that you get from the synchronization of those ultimate weapons. So even if you are running a blender build, I do recommend that you turn off Chain Lightning for this very specific reason. Otherwise, you are going to miss out on coins from enemies that are outside of the Black Hole. Especially that I see that your Black Hole is 46 meters and you are playing max size, which is not an amazing size. So you are not like having like two massive Black Holes that are going to suck up everything, and you are going to waste some coins. So if you decide to go to Chain Lightning, turn it off when you're doing some farm runs, otherwise you are going to waste some coins. Another thing that I see in your ultimate weapon is that your death wave here is a little bit low in damage. I think right now you are mostly using EHP, and I think in tournaments this is a little bit low for the champion tournament. So you have two options. You can either strongly work on your damage research, and I think in your case this is my recommendation because you are so advanced in over research that I think it's better to do so. Or you can dump a little bit of stones to quicken that. It depends on what you want, but you probably are not maxed in HP for your tournament. So you want to be maxed in HP for your tournament in champion. It's completely possible. So either you put a little bit of stone into damage, or you heavily work on the research, and I will explain you what I think can work quite well for you. So that's up to you. Don't put a lot of stones. I think 1 or 2 level above the one that you are right now can be sufficient to have a solid base, and then after work on the research. But overall, you're not forced to do it because you're already at time 76, which is not that bad compared to other towers that I reviewed in the past. So it's up to you. If you want to speed that up, you can probably put a little bit here. Otherwise, just focus on the research and work on the Chronofield or on unlocking the next ultimate weapon for Chain Lightning. I see that you are making 930 stones per month. For the duration here, you probably need something like, I would say 1,500 to be at 1 minute, and this is including if you are having some duration on your module. So which you probably want to have a natural duration that is 1 minute, and use the module bonus in case you get the affix that is reducing the Chronofield. So aiming for natural 1 minute is probably nice. So answering the question that you have here, work either on Smart Missile or Poison Swamp. So Poison Swamp is a very, very underestimated ultimate weapon. We'll talk about it one day. The problem is that it's extremely late game. So you need to have a very good Poison Swamp. You have to have like a setup with the Chrono Field, which is upgraded, and rotate the enemies to make it work, and you need to have the Poison Swamp upgraded. The fact that it's good is not because of the damage, because of the control you provide. It stuns enemy for 7 seconds when you have maxed the research, and if you are bumping the enemy out of the Poison Swamp with Shockwave, they are entering it again and they can be stunned again, making it very, very good to control masses. So that is the strength of Poison Swamp, but it's a very late game and you need to have some damage to deal with those enemies. So I would not recommend Poison Swamp. Smart Missile, I think it's also very late game, so those two I do not recommend it. Black Hole cooldown, it's not going to help you in tournament. Believe me, this is like maybe short term, but Black Hole in general is not useful in tournament. And even if it is like maybe at the beginning, after you're going to get killed by the bosses. So I do not recommend Black Hole for tournament. It's good as an economical weapon, but not for tournament. Taking out the Multiverse Nexus is doable, but personally I think that when you have a good quality of the Multiverse Nexus, the fact that you reduce the cooldown by 10 seconds is extremely strong. So to farm, to me, it's one of the best weapon. Especially combined with the Galaxy Compressor. It's, to me, is the best combo that we have right now to farm. Harmony Conductor is another possibility, but I think you need to have permanent Black Hole and Golden Tower to make it work. So not so sure about this. I think the alternative that I propose on Chrono Field is probably better for both farm and tournament, and then working on your Chain Lightning. Just a word on your Golden Boat, it's very advanced. Indeed, you want to have a little bit of duration. I see that it's pretty low. I think the research are quite expensive. This is probably why you have not put a lot of duration in here. Potentially the research can be an option, but your Golden Boat is very advanced. Bear in mind that sometimes having to invest into something versus the other is going to give you a better return on investment. If you had 0.20 here, that is basically 5%, almost 5% of bonus. If you are adding 0.5 here, that is more, it's closer to 2.5%. So probably the bonus is a little bit more better in average, but I understand that you want to have the synchronization, so duration is nice. I mean, overall your Golden Boat is good, so I'm not going to spend too much time on your bot. This is nice. Another thing that you can potentially do at some point is to unlock the Amplify bot, because this is going to be useful when you are going to move to the Glass Cannon and Hybrid. So Hybrid first and Glass Cannon after, because it's going to help you damage certain area of your tower much quicker. So that is also an option. If you think that your Golden Boat is well done, then potentially you switch to Amplify bot. You start with the range and you have an area where you are dealing way more damage. So that's another option. Fetch. So if you run the math, you realize that Fine Chance is king versus the two others. Then after comes cooldown that has an increasing return on investment, and the last one is double Fine Chance, which is the worst stat from the three. So if you have some currency, dump them into Fine Chance, you can go up to 30%, 33%, and then basically with this you want to have the 20 gems per day and you want to have the 10 medals per day. So this is completely dependent on the amount of hours that you are running the game. Because you are not running the game 24 hours out of 24, you probably want to have a very strong fetch. Anyway, it's an amazing Guardian, so I don't think this is a bad investment. So keep upgrading Fine Chance, even if it's higher in price, you have a better return on investment than the two others. Talking about the cards, I think that you have a nice setup of cards for farming. For a Devo build, you have the attack speed, which is very important for Devo build. You have the health regen, and the extra defense, which is also important in your case because you're running the wormhole. So health regen is nice. Recovering package, extra orb, and then you are switching the Death Ray landmine stun for the thing. So overall, this is the setup that I would use if I were you for farm in Devo. So very nice one. I believe that 14 slot is enough for what you are running right now. The gem, we are going to talk about it just after, is way better spent into the modules where I believe you're a little bit behind versus the rest. So cards here is very good. For tournament, you talked about the enemy balance and you say that you get better result with the rest, which is fine. And then everything here to me is okay. The only thing that I was wondering is if you want to switch to an hybrid build, what you have in mind, because there is some stuff that you will need to probably remove if you don't add extra layer. If you want to have the Berserk is very important for the hybrid. Attack is also important. I don't see it here, so you will need to probably think about that. I believe one of the options is the Death Ray and landmine stun being replaced by Berserk and attack. So that's something that you need to bear in mind. Also, as we were saying, if you want to max the health of the Death Wave, you need to have some damage. And here I see no damage card. So to me, that's one of the things that you can potentially upgrade. Having the damage card is going to make your Death Wave stand way more and potentially increase significantly the amount of health bonus that you get in tournament. I think you are doing like 700 wave in the Champions League. I don't think this is enough to have the multiply by 12.5 your health. So consider having the damage stuck into it so you can actually benefit from it, and potentially the Berserk. So my recommendation here is that you will, depending on the effects, if Plasma Cannon is nerf, you don't use it. If it's nerf, there is no point using it. And then instead, you are using attack. If Death Ray is nerf, you're not using it. Instead, you're using attack. And if none of them are nerf, you don't use landmine stun and you use attack. I see that you have free upgrade here, and you say that you are removing free upgrade. So maybe that's something that you can change. So your overall setup will be very similar, but you need to stick attack and berserk as you are progressing to the hybrid. So slow aura can be also something that can be removed early on and then only added at the end. If you are looking at the recommendation I did on my last video for hybrid, I think you will be in the same position. You need to have a little bit more damage to make your Death Wave a little bit better and scale this HP a little bit better than what you are doing right now, I think. Moving on to the big area of improvement, which are your module. So I was quite amazed because I saw some stuff that were a little bit surprising, to say the least. So the first thing is you have 500k reroll shard, almost. And on the existing module that you have on the best module you're not even having one mythic substat. So this is the kind of things that you need to change. You were asking me somewhere, I can't remember where, whether you should use your shard or wait for ancestral. No, use your shard now. Like, you are wasting a lot of time having substat like this, potentially wasting some placement into tournament because you have under optimal substat. So you need to be mindful how you use it, but we are going to talk about it. So this is the basic setup that you have, I believe, to farm. And then for tournament, you are replacing the Multiverse Nexus by Harmony Conductor. because you have Poison Swamp and you can poison the enemy, so they have chance to miss, which I understand the point. I think what you want is when you get the Chain Lightning, you want to move to the Dimension Core. Even in a Legendary, is pretty decent. And what I like with Dimension Core, it's adding another multiplicator to the damage that you do with its passive ability. So at the moment, I understand why you are playing Harmony Conductor. There's no point reworking it. You have Death Wave damage. I think for what you do, it's decent. But when you have Chain Lightning, you need to swap to Dimension Core. I think this is the move for you. I really like the Galaxy Compressor for a very long time, even in tournament. The only thing for both tournament and farm, because it's going to help you with maintaining your chrono field at a very high uptime, even when it's not maxed. It's going to help you with a lot of things. So this is very nice. When I regard substats, I think there is you need to work on it. To me, with the number of things that you have, I would like to see here package chance as mythic quality, enemy level skip at mythic quality, and then coin bonus. Even if it's not mythical, at least epic or legendary. And the last one, you put whatever you want, but you need to have enemy attack level skip mythic and package chance mythic quality. This is such a waste of enemy level skip percentage and package chance, which is reducing the cooldown. So this is a very, very important work that you need to do. Overall, the quality of the rest of your module is a bit low, and you need to put all your gem into your module. So you start having the fourth substat on the other ones. I think it's a little bit of shame that here you cannot use the fourth substat because you don't have enough Astral Deliverance. Regarding the substats, these are not the right substats. You are using a blender build, and attack speed is only rare, so you want to have it, to me, as legendary. It's not going to cost you a lot, and this is the number one priority. Then potentially the second thing that you want is critical multiplicator and or critical chance. This is the three things that you want to see here. At least having attack speed, and the second one is important because it's going to help you with your Death Wave damage. And you want Death Wave damage so you get more health in tournament. This is what you are missing right now. So you also need to work on it. It's not going to be very expensive. You're looking at legendary substats and you're only looking at the first two. So the number of shots that you are going to use is pretty low. Wormhole Redirector. Okay, finally we get something that is very decent. You are playing with wall, you have wall health, which is good. 6% defense, I like to see that. 200% health regen. This one is good. It's in a very good shape. Well done. Multiverse Nexus. For this one, same thing. I would recommend that you are rerolling those stats to legendary. I think you don't need Death Wave damage at your level to farm, and you are using only this to farm. So Golden Tower bonus is nice. Black hole size, I understand why, because you are missing a little bit of size. Okay. Potentially what you can get is the Death Wave, additional Death Wave, at least one. So you get a longer period when everything is boosted by the Death Wave. So that's my recommendation, is you need to have this extra Death Wave so you get way more coins. So take the time and also reroll the Multiverse Nexus. I know that you think that if it gets to mythic quality, you will need to reroll that. That's the game. Don't wait to have this in mythic or ancestral before you start rolling this. You have like a massive treasure here use it. Use it. You are wasting a lot of coins and a lot of stones by underperforming versus what you could with your module. When you will switch to the Dimension Core, the number one stat that you are looking for is chance of chain lightning. So you can apply the bonus damage multiplicator as much as possible. So that is what you are looking for. The second stat can be either the number of chain lightning, so you apply this damage multiplicator to more targets, or it can be the death wave damage if you are not capable of maxing the death wave health bonus, which is important. Death wave damage is going to be replaced later on. Another thing that you can look for, because you have a strong chrono field, is the enemy speed reduction with your chrono field. This is pretty strong as well. That's something that you can look for potentially. The next stop is your workshop and the enhancement that you have. I'm not going to comment the workshop. I think it's pretty decent. There is nothing to say specific on it. You have not render armor. I don't think it's necessary for you, so don't unlock it. You have started to upgrade here. You put a little bit in render armor even if you don't have it, but I don't think it's a big deal because it's not a lot of coin for you. And then on defense, so I'm not going to talk about this. It's okay. I am just wondering why you are not maxing the taunt damage if you are playing a blender build, because there's no point for me not to max the taunt damage from start. And same for the orbs. I don't really understand. Maybe it's for the death wave to be maxed, but if the orbs are before, then there's no point. So I don't really understand this. You were talking about landmines chance. I guess this is clearly for the death wave, but I think with your death wave in farm run, you are going to be maxed anyway. So yeah, I think potentially like those things, I don't really understand why they are not maxed. It's not very expensive, and for you build, it's maybe I'm missing something. You have unlocked the wall, and you have wall health and wall rebuild, okay. And you were saying that the wall is completely useless because it dies before your tower dies in champion. And the question was to save up so excess coin for wall health or damage/damage enhancement. So I think at your point, you're already quite high in health and health regen. 5 trillion is quite a lot. I don't think you will be anytime soon breaching the gap with the 44 trillion that you are missing, which is almost the whole amount of coins that you generated through the beginning. So I don't think you should aim for wall enhancement, especially that you are doing your transition to hybrid. I think putting this into damage and critical factor is going to help you quicker, because you will get the benefit for your death wave. So my recommendation is right now more to work on damage and critical factor. And then the third thing that you can do is to boost those two things, the enemy attack level skip, because you are playing relying mostly on EHP. That can be an option. And the second thing is the enemy health level skip. When you are starting to play hybrid, this is going to be very important as well. So do a little bit the damage into the enhancement, and then after you dump your coins more into those two things than reaching for the wall that is a bit too far for the amount of coins that you are generating, in my opinion. Regarding the utility enhancements, so you have the free upgrade, you have the cash, coin bonus, sales, okay, same. I mean, the package is very far, so there's no point going for that. So that's my recommendation for your workshop, is to put more coins into those two. You will need it anyway. Moving on to your lab, and I mean, congratulations, because you are reaching lab speed level 97 which I don't think a lot of player into the tower will ever manage to reach. So you have a very quick lab speed, and because you've been here for so long, you have a lot of research on this. I see that you are working on reroll shards. You have a lot of reroll shards, but you will see that when you start using them, especially with the number of substat increasing, this is going to melt very quickly. So it's always good to have the reroll shard going up. Critical factor, we talked about the transition to a hybrid build. This is nice to work on. Damage, your damage is a bit low, so you get a low hanging fruit. So it's good that you are doing this. And I see that you are finishing your Chronofield range, which is also nice because we said that Chronofield can be an option for you to work on. So work on this range is good. So overall, the research that you have here are good in my opinion. I will not have the patience to wait these 25 days for just like a few percentage, I have to admit, so I will just change this. But I understand that you are so close to max it, so you'll feel a bit meh if you just stop here. So yeah, keep working on this so you finish it and you can say that you have completed lab speed. Regarding your lab, don't bother too much with super crit chance and super critical multiplicator. I mean, you can do the first level if they are not taking too long, but don't go very far because very quickly it gets quite long, and the bonus that it actually provides you is pretty low compared to simply working on damage. So I think it's good that you are working on critical factor and damage. This is the two most important in raw damage. Attack speed is very important for you for both the blender, and then after when you have the chain lightning, it's going to be important, but you're already quite high versus the two others, so I think you can work on those two low hanging fruit. I think the range for tournament is very often underrated, and I see it's only level 2, so you can put a bit of level and you can adjust the range by just clicking on the research, and for tournament you increase it, and outside of tournament you decrease it, so you actually are farming with lower range, but for tournament you have a better range. Damage per meter, there's no much point for you, so there's no point in here. So overall, the damage, I think you are working on the right things. Health is already level 65, health regen is 42, which is nice. Defense, it's 26, so you don't need to work on this anymore, because if you get the ancestral module, you should be able to reach 98% with the max perks. So this is completely fine. Orb speed is okay, it's maxed. Orb boss hit, to me this is something that at some point you can complete. It doesn't take a lot of time, and then you will see that at some point you will like it. It's not a priority, but don't overlook too much this. The wall, I mean, this is to farm, I'm not going to talk about that, it's okay. The coins per kill is very high. You have enemy attack level skip that is maxed, which is very good. You can work on the health level skip when you start transitioning to hybrid. It's going to be good as well. The recovery package, I think it's expensive for not much gain, so I would not recommend you to work on this outside of the first level that maybe are not very long and expensive. I will not talk about this part here because I think you are very advanced. Like when I see that your chronofield reduction is 25%, so you have the duration that is maxed, even the golden tower bonus is maxed, so everything here is very high, and that's what I was talking about when I was mentioning your lab. It's impressively high for all this lab research, and also considering the fact that you went up to level 97 in lab speed. So this is like very good. I don't think there is like major thing here that I'll be thinking it's weird. I think the thing that I think is weird from what I've seen is on perks. You're saying that you like to have an idle game, but the auto peak ranking is only level 1, and this I don't understand. If you are playing a idle game, you want to be running, just clicking one button, and then everything is playing automatically. And for sure, having the right perks being picked at the right time, to me, is very important. So I have no information on your perk. You haven't provided me the perks, but I have a video on perks and I think you should have a look at it, because what I see from here is that your perk option quantity, this is max, the first perk choice. I hope that this is reducing the wave required for perks, but you need to have auto pick ranking. You need to have at least level 10, 12 auto pick. So you are getting those important ones early on, and you are making more coins, especially that, yeah, you are running like 6,900 wave in T10, which is very good, and you are going to max all the perks that are here. But I think it's always better to start with the good ones, so you start generating a healthy amount of coins early on. I think this is something that is really messing up with the amount of coins that you are making. So you need to increase this to a much higher level, probably like 10 or 11, because this is something that you are missing out. Regarding the module, I see that they are very advanced. Daily mission shards is maxed, so everything here is good, so I don't think there is anything to work in. And then potentially the bot at some point, the golden bot cooldown can be maxed, and the duration here is very important and can be worked on because it's going to improve the effectiveness. So that's other things that indeed you can work on. I think that's my main recommendation. So dump all your gems into the module, fix your module substat using the shard that you have already farmed, and then you will get better modules and you will get like way better results with those better modules. On the ultimate weapon, you can work on your chrono field, unlock the chain lightning, but you want to work as quickly as possible in the chrono field, because when this is going to be an uptime of 100%, you will see a massive difference. Don't forget that chrono field is reducing all the damage that you take by 25%. So when you have a downtime, then you can definitely see it. So having this chrono field 100% uptime is going to help you tremendously. Then eventually you can work on speed reduction, and you will see that this is also very nice as it's increasing. Research-wise, I think what you start with, damage and critical factor, is very good and is going to help with your death wave health, and overall it's preparing very well the hybrid transition that you are doing. And regarding the cards that you have, I think for tournament you put the damage and the berserk, so you can benefit a little bit more from this death wave, and you get the max health from the tournament as well, or like a higher amount of health versus what you're getting right now. That's all I had for you today. I hope that this video is going to help you, and for the people that has not been reviewed, if you are interested of getting reviewed like we did today, you can write down underneath the video review and leave a quick comment on your tower, where you are, what are your objective, and you are being added to a draw that I'm doing every week. If you are registering multiple time, I had your name multiple time, and the person of today is the first time that you register, and the number that get pulled is the first time that you registered. So the more you register, the more chance you have to get pulled for a review. So don't hesitate to register again if you did, and you will get more and more chance to get pulled at some point. Thank you for watching. If this video helps you, please consider subscribing to my channel, and I see you on the next video.